we're going to be doing reciprocal tariffs. So whatever they charge us, we're charging them. Nobody can complain about that.
That's the warning from President Donald Trump tonight for countries placing new tariffs on American-made goods. Good evening, I'm Kelsey Gibbs. The announcement comes after the U.S. imposed 25% tariffs on all steel and aluminum imports overnight. In response, the European Union and Canada announced retaliatory tariffs of their own. Canada is taxing more than $20 billion worth of products like steel, computers, and servers, and cast iron goods. The EU is targeting $28 billion worth of American goods, including beef, motorcycles, jeans, and whiskey. Whiskey, we know, is a major export for Tennessee. Our Nikki Hauser looked into how drastically these impacts our local distilleries.
Tennessee is known for a couple things.
It's music, it's entertainment, and it's Tennessee whiskey.
Distilled spirits have long been the state's pride and joy. According to a Department of Agriculture report from 2022, Tennessee is the #1 exporter of distilled spirits, valued at over $800 million. But President Trump's imposed tariffs on several countries and subsequent retaliatory tariffs boil down to bad news for whiskey makers.
There's two ways it impacts distillers. I think it directly impacts those that are exporting to the impacted countries.
Rob Pinson, an attorney who represents at least 30 Tennessee distilleries, says major exporters like George Dickel or Jack Daniels may take the biggest hit. That's as Canadian officials ordered much of American whiskey off the shelves in response to tariffs last week, all of which is impacting sales. And smaller distilleries, they may struggle with tariffs in a different way as prices rise for raw materials.
When they buy products that might be coming from other countries like China, Mexico, Canada, Europe, like glass, I think a lot of the cork comes from Europe. So, the tariffs that we impose on those countries could make those items more expensive, right? Or harder to get because now they cost a lot more.
Even though companies will work to absorb the cost, Pinson says prices could rise for the customer down the line, although the tariffs may ultimately end up hurting workers the most.
It kind of trickles down to, the employees and then the farmers.
Nikki Hauser joining us now. And Nikki, this is not just going to hurt the state of Tennessee, but Kentucky as well.
Exactly. And Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear recently said he wants Canadian leaders to reconsider their retaliatory tariffs on American liquor, including the state's signature bourbon. And he says he's talked to Canadian officials, urging them to consider alternative responses that don't really impact Kentucky businesses. So safe to say this is going to be a continuing conversation.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Nikki.
Of course.